Hello everybody and welcome to Manchester Airport for today's trip report. As usual, I arrived at the airport hours earlier than I needed to, but nevertheless, let's find our way to Terminal 3, which is the terminal that Iberia Express use here for their twice weekly flight to Madrid, which is the flight I'll be taking today. Terminal 3 is the smallest of the three terminals here at Manchester and only recently reopened in late April. It is mostly used by domestic airlines such as British Airways and Loganair, as well as Ryanair and the two Spanish airlines, Vueling and Iberia, who are part of the same parent company as British Airways. There was almost nothing to do and nowhere to go in the landside area of T3, so after a little look around the check-in area, I went straight to security, which I passed through in less than 5 minutes. As always, the first thing I did once through was to look for a good place to view some planes. After a while, I decided to have a walk around the terminal, which is actually bigger than I realised at first. There are two lounges available here in Terminal 3, the Escape Lounge, which costs £25, or the more premium adult-only 1903 Lounge, which costs a hefty £45 to enter. If you are a business class passenger with Iberia Express, you get free access to the Escape Lounge. And speaking of business class, during online check-in, I was offered a very low price to upgrade my flight to business class. As you can see, I could have upgraded for just £34, and if I wasn't making this review video for the economy experience, I absolutely would have snapped that offer up. Considering the cost of the lounge alone is £25, you are basically paying £9 for a hot meal, priority boarding, and an empty middle seat. Ridiculous. After walking around the entire building, I still had plenty of time to kill before my plane arrived, so there was time for even more plane spotting. If you look past all of these Ryanairs, you can see our plane arriving in from Madrid. Our ride today is a very well travelled 21-year-old Airbus A320, first delivered to Sabina in May 2001. It then went on to fly briefly for Air Luxor and Air One before finding a home at Czech Airlines for 8 years. Following that, it flew for Bingo Airways, Windavia and Air Armenia before finally being delivered to Iberia Express in March of 2015. Once I saw my plane come in, I checked the screens to find out which gate I needed to head to, which was gate 44. Whilst I make my way there, let's check out today's route. Today we'll be departing from runway 23 right on a southwesterly heading before turning to the south at 10,000 feet and climbing to our cruising altitude of 37,000 feet, which we will reach shortly after crossing the Bristol Channel. We'll continue south over the English Channel, across Brittany, the Bay of Biscay and northern Spain, before looping around Madrid for a northwesterly final approach into runway 32 right at Madrid Barajas Airport. Now I don't know who thought it was a good idea to board 3 different flights from this same area at the same time, but this is ridiculous. And I know for a fact that there were empty gates in other areas of the terminal. This is just poor management. Because of the chaos at the gate, boarding didn't begin until 10 minutes before our scheduled departure, or 20 minutes later than expected.
Hello, just on the glass, please. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hola, buenas noches.
Seat in front of you. In compliance with sanitary measures, please take your assigned seat as soon as possible, leaving an emergency exits clear.
And here's our seat for today's flight, 26F. Despite the boarding delay, we managed to push back from the gate only 5 minutes behind schedule at 9:20 PM local time.
Larger items, such as laptop computers, must be switched off and stowed away safely in the overhead compartment or under the seat in front of you. The crew may also require passengers to turn off and safely stow away all electronic devices at any time during the flight. Now, please check that your seatbelt is fastened, your hand luggage is stowed correctly.
As is pretty common nowadays, there are no magazines or menus on board, with all of that being available via your personal device by connecting to the Iberia Express Wi-Fi network. There's also a selection of movies and TV shows available, although it is by no means extensive. The food and drink offering is fine, with a number of Spanish specialties on offer, although it would be nice if they offered at least one hot dish such as pasta. Even Ryanair offer that much. I decided to bring my own food and drink on board, a milkshake, water and chocolate bar. We began our descent about 25 minutes before landing, and there were some nice nighttime views over central Spain on our way into Madrid. So what did I think of my flight with Iberia Express? It didn't get off to the greatest start, with the absolute mess at the boarding gate and the delayed boarding. I'm not sure, however, whether that was the fault of the airline or Manchester Airport. Credit where it's due, they did get the boarding done quickly once it started, and we were barely delayed on departure as a result. Once on board, the legroom was a little below average, but it was still enough for a short person like me. There was power at every seat via USB outlets, which is great on a low-cost carrier, and the crew were very pleasant. They even fist bumped each other before departure, which I thought was nice. The ability to connect your device and access some TV shows and movies is also good. It would be nice to have a hot meal option, and on a flight this late at night I feel like they should have dimmed the cabin lights. But overall, I was pretty impressed with my flight today. Iberia Express has everything I want from a low-cost carrier. I'm happy. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe and leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.